Hey guys, this is Stefan, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to play Kabalevsky's opus 39, number 13, Waltz. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and make sure to check the notifications bell to never miss a new video. Also, I now offer online piano lessons. If you're looking for one, there's going to be information in the description below. So Kabalevsky's book, Opus 39, is a great little book for building technique, character and style. The pieces are for beginners from like pre-grade to grade 1, grade 2. They are progressive and each piece focuses on a different technical challenge and character. So working through this piece is very beneficial for beginners. In today's video, we're going to look at number 13, Waltz. First, I'm going to demonstrate it and then talk you through the difficulties and how to approach the piece. Now, as you could hear, it has a beautiful connected waltzy feel. It's very legato, a very nice character with the left-hand staccato chords. Let's take this from the very beginning. The tempo says moderato, which is a moderate speed, not too fast, not too slow. And the key signature is B flat. So every B is going to be flat. We are in the key of D minor. The time signature is 3/4, like all waltzes. And the first beat of every bar is going to get a little accent, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The melody starts on an upbeat and it finishes on a single crotchet as well. Now, before we start playing the hands separately, let's just have a look at the structure. I would say this piece has two sections. Section 1 is the first half of the piece and section 2 is the second half of the piece, which starts as the repetition of the first section, but it ends differently. So almost like A and A plus or A star sections. The melody is in the right hand all the way through, and the right hand plays very smoothly, very legato, and the left hand is providing supporting chords in the form of thirds, staccato thirds all the way through, and it's also providing a rhythmic drive. Let's start with the right hand. Instantly we can see that the right hand is quite stretchy. We have bigger intervals and the hand has to stretch up to the octave, but we see a lot of slurs, and that shows us that this has to be very cantabile, very smooth, very legato, and between those slurs we have to lift up our hands to show that there's a new phrase starting, so making sense of that melody in shorter phrases. Let's have a look at the first phrase. We have crotchets and minims, so we're going to start on the upbeat. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And that's the first phrase. Now notice how we start on 3, the count 3, and number 1, the first count, is going to be the strong beat. So, as opposed to, so don't accent the upbeat because that's not the strong beat. The strong beat is the first beat of every bar. Now, as you could see with the right hand legatos, my hand was following the melody as much as it's possible. I wasn't having a static wrist. And although the sheet music doesn't say it, when the melody is rising, I'm doing a little bit of crescendo, getting louder, and when the melody is falling back, I'm doing a little decrescendo or diminuendo, getting quieter. This is called natural dynamics. So every time you have rising melodies, you tend to do a little bit of getting louder and pulling it back to the end of the sentence. And then we move to this A minor position. B natural, and this is the end of the first section. Then we have this upbeat, and I'm going to count and say where to do the lifts. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, lift. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, lift. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, lift. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, lift. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So very important that you lift up your hand on the second beat of those minims, otherwise it's going to be a very quick lift, which doesn't sound very nice. And that's basically all about the right hand. We have a couple of crescendos in the second half and then pulling it back to very quiet in the end. But phrasing this melody nicely and making it very smooth is what's going to lead to a very successful performance and a beautiful performance. Now let's move on to the left hand. The left hand starts in the bass clef, but then instantly changes into the treble clef. And as you can see, all we have is these thirds or double notes. And the key thing when you play these is that they need to go down perfectly together and gentle staccatos. Now if you hear anything like this, or when the two notes don't go down together, make sure you stop and fix it, concentrate, get them together. And because the melody is in the right hand is going to be much louder than the left hand, which is providing the supporting chords, so we need to make these thirds very, very quiet and staccato at the same time. Now as you can see, we start 2 beats and then the third beat is always a rest. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then moving to 2, 4 on the CE, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then F sharp A, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, F natural, 3, 1, 2, 3, and now G sharp and D sharp 2, 4, and E, G sharp, and finishing on an open chord, A and E. Then for the second section we go back to D, F, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, C, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, jump, A and C, B flat and G, F and A. And then here you have 2 options. In this edition it says E and G sharp, but in the ABRSM edition it was E and G natural, and then D minor. Now I wanted to bring this to your attention because this piece was in the grade 1 ABRSM exams a couple of years ago, and there it was a G natural, which actually sounds better, and it's an A7 chord in that case, which is the dominant of D minor, but this edition says G sharp. I don't know why, and I don't know which one is correct, but you might see both of these in different scores. So that was the left hand, keeping it very metric and very even all the way through. Gentle and accurate is all you need when you practice it hands separately. Now when we put this together, that's when the problems come, because the right hand is very legato but the left hand is very staccato. So I've seen things like this before. So there's so many things wrong with this. First of all, the right hand wasn't legato. Secondly, the left hand was too loud. Third, the left hand kept doing this, ignoring the rests on the third beats. So what you want to do is really slow down. If you can do the first sentence really well, then the rest is going to be the same. So starting right hand, connecting, holding down the right hand, left hand staccato, then 3, 1, 2, 3, smoothly right hand, but left hand staccato, and lift. So once again. So keeping that left hand really staccato and the right hand very legato. And that's the key technical challenge of this piece. And apart from that, it's also a lot of position changes in both the right hand and the left hand, and a lot of phrasing in the right hand, separating those slurs, which all start on the upbeat, not on the first beat, but on the upbeat. So make sure you don't separate the upbeat from the first beat of the bar. When you manage to put it hands together, the whole piece, then you can have a look at the dynamics, which basically says starts quietly, and then towards the end we have a crescendo. And then getting quieter. And finishing really delicately and quietly. It's a beautiful piece. It's one of my favorites from the book. It really encourages you to think of phrasing in music, to think of this melody, how can it come alive above the support of the left hand, and practice it slowly in the beginning, lots of hands separately practice, and when you feel really confident about the finger numbers, rhythms, position changes, then start adding it together, paying special attention to those legatos in the right hand. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, subscribe for more.